गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय श्री राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय श्री राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय श्री राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय श्री राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय श्री राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय श्री राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय गोविन्दा 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 गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय श्री राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय श्री राधारमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय So there's a very, very beautiful video of this particular dhun by Janvi Harrison. Look her up on YouTube. Janvi Harrison's, what I loved about this particular song, of course, is not just the melody and the dhun is so beautiful. It's so just very, very simple and yet very, very beautiful, very moving. But the video that they have done, which goes with this particular song, is just very, very mind blowing. The sort of the story around the video is she's in bed somewhere in Europe, apparently. Probably the middle of the night, she wakes up. She can't sleep, and she wakes up with this dhun in her head. And because she can't fall back asleep, she just goes out of bed and goes up to the terrace and is singing this song all by herself and just dancing. And the video then cuts to the morning at presumably a place like Vrindavan or Mathura or somewhere like that, where the devotees, Krishna devotees, are also dancing and singing the same song, the same dhun, and in sync. So here she is, let's say in London or Paris or somewhere, and here is this other group in Vrindavan. So as she sings, they also sing in response. And so it's like a virtual meeting. So even though they're separated by time and space, because of this connect through Krishna, they all feel like they are in one place, and she feels their presence and their dance, and and it just goes so beautifully in sync. So check it out. uh, Govinda Jai Jai, Janvi Harrison. Such a beautiful plot. That story is so beautiful, so moving. So great, great. Welcome everybody. Couple of new people. Hello, Minu and Jayesh, my buddy from chemical engineering. We went to college together. And Prakash ji, कैसे हैं? जय गुरुदेव.
सर जी आपकी कृपा है.
बिल्कुल,
Right in the
बिल्कुल.
chat.
So, um, anyone has any pressing questions that they would like to ask, or anything that's uppermost on their mind they want to share or ask? You can do so now. Our queen of questions, Sonal, the floor is open for you. Uh,
Good evening, sir.
good evening.
So you want questions related to today's topic?
Sure, why not?
You've given this topic na cut straight to the chase.
Cut straight to the chase. Cutting straight to the chase, exactly. Yes.
Before you start only, I'm asking what is the chase?
What is the chase? Okay.
What are we chasing?
What are we chasing? Yeah, what are we chasing? What are you chasing?
I really don't know.
My
Today
daughter
you
in
gave
the.
me a new name na.
Sorry?
Today you gave me a new name.
What's the
Queen of
new name?
Questions.
Queen of questions.
Uh,
Queen of
uh,
hearts hoti hai, queen of clubs hoti hai. You are the queen of questions, which is very
earlier was Prashna Kumari.
Prashna Kumari. No, I love it, because questions, if there are questions, that means there is a curiosity. If there's a curiosity, there is a thirst. And if there's a thirst, there is a thirst for knowledge, and there's a thirst for fulfillment. And that thirst is what takes us forward. So, unless there is a thirst, there is no movement. Um, so, no, I was sharing about I just remembered when you said about chasing what. I remembered my daughter in the US has a cat, which she brought with her from the US, from Botswana, where she was volunteering as a Peace Corps volunteer. And then this cat kind of just adopted her. And then she ended up bringing that cat with her back to the US. So this cat has a habit of, she almost all the time, her tail is always twitching. She just twitches her tail, tuck, 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 chalte rehta hai. But every once in a while, she'll turn around and notice this twitching tail. She'll look at it and then pounce on it. Because she sees this twitching and she has no clue. And she pounces on it and has a full blown battle with her tail, because the tail keeps on twitching. And she pounces on it, puts a paw, and then holds it for a second. As soon as she lets go, the tail twitches again, and she'll turn around and bite it and stamp on it, and all and all and all. And it's just continuously chasing her tail, and fighting with the tail. And And at one point, as I was just noticing that, it's somehow a little bit true about us also. We are just chasing our own tail, going around in circles, going around in circles in life. So this phrase, cut to the chase, as I was explaining in the announcement also, cut to the chase, yani jo, if you're telling a story, let's say you're talking about a movie and you're telling the story कि ये हुआ वो हुआ, हीरो हीरोइन से मिली, फिर वो विलन आ गया, ये हुआ वो हुआ, फिर वहाँ गए एट्सेट्रा एट्सेट्रा, फिर लास्ट में जो सीन आता है वो तो चेज ही होता है, इन द टिपिकल बी ग्रेड मूवी आई एम सेइंग, इन अ टिपिकल mass movie, last में chase होता है, it's an adventure, somebody's been kidnapped and this hero has to go and save the um, and chase the villain, or the police is chasing the villain, and that chase is like the climax for a lot of movies. And even if it's James Bond, the chase is the final thing. So cut to the chase is a phrase which says, baki ki baatein chodo, just cut straight to the chase and tell me what happened there. जो cliffhanger, जो climax है story का, what is the climax of that story? That's what that phrase means. Just cut to the chase, man. And it's used often in a, that phrase is used in many, many different alag alag circumstance में use किया जाता है. Like supposing somebody is doing a presentation, corporate presentation on some numbers and whatever, and you're going meandering all the way around and around, and then somebody says, hey, just cut to the chase, man. Price kya hai? Kab milega? Cut to the chase, meaning get to the bottom line, get to the crux of the matter, get to the mool baat kya hai. Waha, yeah, come to the point is the meaning of cut to the chase. And as I'm saying all this, I'm also saying to myself, Sanjeev, cut to the chase. What are you trying to say? Come to the point. No, but the story is also important. Otherwise, without the story, there's no chase. And without the story, no chase is fun. Just the chase by itself has nothing. The story is what makes the chase interesting. So the story is just as important. But what I wanted to talk about was what is the हमारा जीवन की जो कहानी है, ये कहानी, ये जो मूवी चल रही है called life, what is the core, what is the core of that life? So what is the perfect what is the climax, what is, so cut to the chase. As far as our life is concerned also, we want to cut to the chase and get to what is the bottom line. Bottom line क्या है, वहाँ उसकी बात करते हैं और वहीं जीते हैं, वहीं रहते हैं जो bottom line है, because that's your climax. The rest of it is just खाया पिया सोया नहीं, बम्बई की भाषा में बोलेंगे तो खाया पिया किसका. They use this phrase, I don't know, some of you are from Mumbai, so you'll know. Khaya piya khiska means you go somewhere to somebody's house and you don't bother with anything else. You just want to get to the food, eat the food, and leave. That's called khaya piya khiska. It's kind of how a lot of people live their lives. Khaya piya or phir khiska. but otherwise, what is the bottom line? What is the bottom? And how do we get to this bottom line? So one interesting story I wanted to share also, which I read recently, um, about the crux of it. So yeah, the the one who takes the sun, S-O-N, sun, one who takes the sun. That's the title of this story. So there was a father and a son who were very, very wealthy and also very, very interested in the arts. So they would collect jagah jagah pe jaake, they would collect art pieces, whether it was a painting or a sculpture or a beautiful ornament, and all over the world. They just would go everywhere and gather all these beautiful pieces of art, highly prized, highly wonderful pieces. तो ऐसा उनका collection था. It was a famous collection that they used to have. अब हुआ ये कि there was a war, उस देश में कुछ war आ गई, and the son was recruited into the army, and just a few weeks later, the father received the news that the son, while trying to rescue a fellow comrade in the war, he was trying to take that friend or comrade to safety, and in that process he got shot and he got killed. The other person survived, but the son died. So the father was, of course, very fond of his son. He loved his son, and they had spent a lot of many precious moments together. So he was, grief struck. But that's what happened. So, but a few weeks later, after the war ended, and that friend who had who had lived because of that son's sacrifice came, knocked on the father's door, and and said, "I'm the one. I'm alive today because of your son. So I wanted to thank you, and I wanted to offer something for you to remember him by." And so he happened to be that he himself was an artist, not some famous artist, but he was an artist, and he had painted a very wonderful, compassionate portrait of his son in that painting, and he gifted that portrait of his son to the father and said, "Here, this is something I wanted you to have." So the father was very happy. He loved that painting, even though he had all this collection of masterpieces. This was one of his favorite paintings. So, getting the story so far, everyone? Yes? Okay. So, after a while, um, the father also was getting old and he passed away. And all his collection of art was to be auctioned off as per his will. He had written a will and said everything will be auctioned off. And so on the day of the auction, many interested people came to buy buy parts of the collection. And the auction, started. It was collection of very rare things. So everyone was very keen on this. So the auctioneer started off and said that as per the instructions in the will, the first painting that will be auctioned off is the painting of the son, the portrait. That was the first one to be auctioned. And and everyone was a little bit like, we didn't come here to look at like ordinary art and simple art. We want the masterpieces. But he said, well, I'm sorry, this is what the instruction is. I cannot deviate from that. This is the first painting. So who will buy this painting for $100? And so there was a neighbor of that of theirs who looked, nobody wanted to bid even $1 for it. But the neighbor said, you know what? He is my friend. He has been my friend. This painting was precious to him. So out of that, and it's such a beautiful painting of that boy. So he said, okay, I will buy it for $100. And he said, $100 one, $100 two, $100 three, done. And then he said, and so everyone was like glad, okay, this is over. Now we get to the real stuff, which is what we really want, which may cost hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars, but that's the one we want to get to. So he said, done. And he said, well, thank you all very much. The auction is over. Okay. And so everyone is like, what do you mean the auction is over? Everything else is still not auctioned, this whole collection. He said, well, as per his will, he who gets the son gets it all. He who gets the son gets it all. And so everything was just given away. The rest of it after the son's painting was just given away to that bidder who bought the first painting. So this was, so the point was, what is the point of this story, Chalo? Sonal, you are good at stories and sharing all these stories everywhere. What is the point of this story?
So the father was so attached to his son that all the property went to the son himself.
To the son?
Yeah, the person who took the son's painting, na?
Yeah, it went to the person who took the son's painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like बेटा ही सब कुछ है तो उसने सारा प्रॉपर्टी बेटे को ही दिया, यानी जिसने बेटे की फोटो ली उसको
उसको दिया क्योंकि that was the crux of it. That was his most precious. That was his most. Yeah, Minu, what do you say?
Conscience.
Something like what how I relate is that that is what God says. If you do my will, means my way, if you take it and accept it, then whatever you want and whatever
Then
is there, I'll give you
every
everything. Sab
everything
tumhara ho gaya.
everything follows automatically. Everything
Yeah.
follows automatically. If you are willing to go with surrendering to what is and what is precious to me, then everything else is automatic. You don't have to work for it. You don't have to pay for it. Everything else follows. So cutting to the chase in the story of life is something that this same story illustrates. So what is it that we normally go for? Like everyone who was at the auction wanted the masterpieces, the Michelangelos, the Picassos, and the Rembrandts, and whatever. So what are those things that we go for? And what is it that's really precious actually? What is it that is really precious? So normally when we talk about क्या चाहिए life में क्या चाहिए, so the usual thing is health, wealth, relationships. That's the, health, wealth, and relationship. This is what we all want. And we ask for that, we strive for that, we work for that, even at these retreats or wherever we ask people, what is it that uh, you are looking for? What is the purpose of your visit to this retreat? What are you here for? It centers around health and wealth and sometimes relationships. So so compared to, these are what we go for. But what is, if we were to cut to the chase, how do we find what is really precious in life? How do we find what that is? If we want to know, are these the most precious things in your life, health, wealth, and relationships? Is that really what it is? Or is there something deeper that is really precious? How do we reach that? How do we reach that point or that understanding of what that is? What is it that is really precious in life? How do we get there? We don't know, right? We don't know, and that's why we end up like the cat in Supriya's house, chasing our own tail, because we don't really know what is that we want, and so we chase our tail about things which are not really that important. We are continuously chasing our tails all our life, looking for, to find and catch that which is not really what is important. So how we get to that? This thing, as I was reading this story on in a blog by Om Swami, actually. So as I was reading this story, I asked myself the question that how do we know what we want really? Then, and the yeah, it's an SL World Tour. It's a roller coaster ride. But the easiest way to get to it is to ask yourself, whatever you're asking for, what is it, what is behind it that you really want? So let's take money, for example, wealth. We all want wealth. But what is it that you really want out of the wealth? Because the numbers or the paper money itself means nothing. What does it mean? Nothing. That's not what you really want. What you really want is something else. What is that? Take health. Take health. You want to live a long, healthy life. That's why you want good health. Okay, but ask the next question. Why? Why do you want to live a long, healthy life? What is it? Why? What do you want that health for? Um, and relationships. What do you want those relationships? What is
Love.
behind it? Exactly. So it's ultimately when we cut to the chase, what we want money for is to experience love. That's all we really want. That's all we want. So the question becomes, why spend so much time, energy chasing our tail after something that we don't really want? Whether it's health, wealth, relationships, all of that is, it's not that we don't want it, but it's like the sun. If you get the sun, everything else is automatically yours. So if we go for that which we really want, the health, wealth, and happiness and relationships follows auto magically. And going after all those other things and spending so much time, energy, and effort after that is really the same thing as chasing our own tail. So cutting to the chase of life, all you need is love. Beatles wala song yaad hai? Da 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 da. All you need is love, love, love. Love is all
Love
you
is all
need.
you need.
Yeah, yeah. All you need is. Oh, I saw such a beautiful movie about the Beatles on my flight back from Dublin. What was it called? Gosh, I'm forgetting. I'll get the name. You must watch it. Everyone watch it. I think I posted it on the group. Everyone watch this movie. ऐसा करके कुछ तो डाला था नहीं? कुछ दिन पहले नहीं डाला. अच्छा मैं ढूंढ के डाल देता हूँ. Do watch. If you anyone on this meeting is not in the open door WhatsApp group, please enter your number in the chat window and we'll add you to the group. But going back to Beatles, yeah, it's all you need is love. And so my insight or the realization or the message is cut to the chase when it comes to life also. When it comes to life, cut to the chase. Don't spend your time spinning wheels and chasing your tail. Everything else follows automatically. Health follows, wealth follows, relationships follow. When your focus, when your energy, your time, your sadhana, your thoughts, your feelings are centered around love and lovingness, and you keep coming back to that, keep coming back to that, no matter where life and circumstances drag you, if you keep coming back to that core, which is the core of life itself, then that is the sun after which everything else follows on its own. Wonderful. So any thoughts, questions, or insights?
Very beautiful satsang. I enjoyed very much.
Really wonderful. But
Isn't
how do you
it?
come back to love?
Good question.
Unconditional love.
Yay!
Unconditional love. How you come back to that?
How you come back? How you come back? So That's where what they call the rubber meets the road, right? Where where the crux of it is. How do we do that? How do we do that? Um, it's actually very interesting because it's not about how do we do that. It's about how do we stop doing all the other stuff. How do we stop chasing our own tail? How do we stop getting distracted with things that are unimportant? How do we stop doing that? Once we stop doing that, you are love, you are that. That is your natural state. That is why you are here. That is what brought you in this world. That is what brings you. That is what sustains you. That is what's ये धरती उसी पर थमी हुई है. It's the natural state to be in love, to express love. It's just your natural um, your natural state is to express and feel love. That's you. So there is nothing you have to do that. All you have to do is stop doing the other stuff. Stop doing the other stuff. Chasing your own tail, getting upset about things that don't matter, um, spending time, energy, money on this peripheral stuff. So when you stop doing that, stopping being angry, stopping being mean, stopping being giving priority to things that are not really important, being jealous, being possessive, being greedy, all of those things which we don't really need, because what makes us greedy, what makes us jealous is thinking that we want that. It's not what we want. So it's easy to stop doing all that stuff the minute you realize that it's not what you really want. So when we stop doing things that we don't really want, we are automatically placed into the center of our being, which is love itself. And then life unfolds. Life just unfolds, the unfolding of life. And then you just sit back and watch the unfolding of life, however it unfolds. It's an unfolding. And instead of allowing it to unfold in the context and the state of lovingness, we continuously try to do something about it. Do this, do that, do that. And then rather than enjoying the unfolding, we are completely distracted and life passes us by. And the movie is over then.
Yes, we want it to be our way.
Yes.
Everything should go our way,
True.
not
True.
unfold the way
True.
it is.
True. And the paradox is this: when you accept the sun, everything else follows automatically, including your way. It's not that you need to give up whatever it is. It's not about that. It simply happens as the natural outpouring of the divine, powerful, loving being that you already always are. It follows automatically. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ त्यागना है, कुछ जाने नहीं, वो अपने आप आता है. Just like with the sun, all the masterpieces came along with it. But go for that. Go for the sun. Go for the sun. Go for that love. Go for the crux. Cut to the chase. Cut to the chase in every situation. In every situation, think about it. Is this just a deviation to my story, or is it the climax? And if it is a deviation, just bring yourself to the climax. All I want to do is express love. That's all I want to do. That's all I really want to do. And am I doing that? And if the answer is no, just cut it out. Cut to the chase. Just stop. Cut to the chase.
I'll share one incident, Sanjivji,
Sure,
of
sure,
my life.
sure. Yeah.
So it was like many years back, I'm talking, when I used to do up and down to Pune, and every 15 days go there and give free healing and teach there and all. And simultaneously, I was trying to open new markets for soul healing. So I was trying to open Surat very badly, and nothing would happen in Surat. So I said, okay, God, whatever you wish, and I just left it further and said, whatever is coming my way, I'll do it. So in Pune, I had a financial workshop. And then one day I get a phone call saying that I'm in this WhatsApp group where I got your message about this financial workshop, but living in Surat, but I couldn't attend your workshop. So will you hold this workshop for me if I come to Bombay for one day, just for me and my friend, two people?
Right.
Whole workshop for two people. ठीक है, करूंगी. Why not? So he wanted two workshops. One was losing weight and one was finance. So we did that workshop and I did it in my kaki's house. And it was I got to know these two men very closely. They're in private things and whatever. And we had a wonderful workshop and wonderful time together. And then they opened the whole market for me in Surat. And when I had the finance workshop in Surat, there were 25 males attending it. It was a great workshop. So, like, when you just go with the flow and give and serve with love, things open up for you. I believe that.
Right, right. And it's not just belief, it's experience.
Yeah.
And regardless of what follows, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
regardless. And
Regardless of what follows.
regardless, yeah. It's okay.
No, you got the chance and the opportunity to experience what you are really about, which is to express that serving of people. So it is an end in itself, and that everything else that follows it is just the bonus. It's just cherry on top, cream on top.
Absolutely.
Which if it's there, welcome, and if it's not there, it's okay, because what you really wanted, you already got. So why worry? Great.
When we are talking about love, can I ask you something more regarding this? A little
Sure.
a deviation in that what we are talking about. We are talking about outward love, but I've heard from Guruji and others, they talk about self-love. But at the moment you can really love yourself, then only you can love others. If you don't love yourself, you can't. So how to love ourselves? मैंने दूसरे के लिए तो मैं प्यार अपने बेटे के लिए, घर वालों के लिए, सबके लिए प्यार जता सकती हूँ, फ्रेंड्स के लिए. अपने को कैसा एग्जैक्टली करें? बिकॉज in that case somewhere it becomes conditional. You I mean sometimes we just want to go कि अच्छा दूसरे के लिए करना है तो अपने खुद के लिए sacrifice कर दो या कुछ कर दो. Why for myself? And I do not know how to love yourself. Myself, when I'm talking about myself, how do I love myself?
Right. So this question actually comes when we hold ourselves as separate from others, right? Me versus you, me and you, this person, that person, this object. The reality is that there is only I, there is only you, there is only you. Your son is you in the form of a son, your parents are your parents, you again in the form of parents, your clients are you in the form of customers. So there is nothing else except you anyway. So no matter what direction you point to, it is all pointing back at you. So that's one aspect or one thought you can hang on to, which is that there is nothing like loving them but not me. So because everyone is just a reflection of you, and if whether you are ek jo your own self in different forms, so when you are loving everyone, you are loving yourself. That is one aspect of it. You are loving yourself, because that expressing of love is what this soul, the you, the I really wishes to experience and why we are here. So you get to do that. And the other aspect is that if we can offer our love to our son and our children and our parents and our friends, तो हमने क्या गुनाह किया है भाई? हमने कौन सा गुनाह किया है? We don't need to beat ourselves up. We can offer the same caringness, the same care, the same compassion, the same forgiveness. Because at the end of the day, how do you express love for anyone? You accept them the way they are. That's the ultimate way you love somebody, right? You accept them the way they are. That's the ultimate expression of love. So हमने कौन सा गुनाह किया है कि हम अपने आप को एक्सेप्ट ना करें? हम अपने आप को भी एक्सेप्ट करें. If we accept ourselves the way we are, accepting ourselves the way you are, accepting yourself the way you are, however you are, and there's only perfection. So accepting that is how we express this love for ourselves. What do we normally do? We beat ourselves up. I'm not good enough. I'm not I'm not committed enough. I'm not sincere enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not talented enough. I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not handsome enough. I'm not whatever. I am not enough is the tape we play to ourselves, which is nothing but saying that I don't accept myself the way I am. I should be different. I need to fix myself. I need to grow. I need to do something. I need to take 10,000 classes and read 20 books and meditate for 17 hours a day. Only then I can declare myself as being worthwhile. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with meditating for 17 hours. You may do that anyway, but not because you need to be any different than what you already are. And when you say that I accept myself the way I am, along with all my qualities, all my circumstances, that acceptance of self is the ultimate way we love anything, including ourselves. So there's no difference. It's not like we have to apply a different formula or yardstick for others and a different one for ourselves. It's the same. Accepting ourselves the way we are. And this is so important, because when it's like the source, again, it's like the sun. You get the sun, you get it all. When you love yourself, then there's an automatic outpouring of love for anything and everything. Automatically, we love everything and everyone around us. But if we don't love ourselves, we don't accept ourselves, then our love for others also is trying to fulfill that gap within us or that lack. So I love you so that you will love me, and then I can prove to myself that I'm worthy of being loved. So even our love of other people becomes a way to somehow fill this vacuum here. So even if it's the same expression of taking care of somebody, if it's not coming from loving and accepting ourselves, then it's again misdirected, and it's not an unconditional or a true expression of love. It's just a transaction that you're trying to do, that I love you so that you'll love me, so that I can accept myself the way I am. So this is the source. So it's a beautiful spiral which can go in the upward or in the downward. So if we don't love ourselves and still go out there pretending or expressing love, then it's just coming from lack. It's coming from something missing, and it contains all of that. And the other way is also true, that when you love yourself, you automatically love everything and everybody around you. So beautiful. Thanks for that question, because this is the crux of it. So cutting to the chase is about loving yourself first and last, and everything else just follows. And there is, by the way, no one else anyway. There is only the I. The rest is just reflections. It's just pictures in the mirror, including this body. Great. Wonderful.
Such a wonderful explanation. Such a wonderful explanation. It was just actually I could cut the chase and get to that bottom key. What is it exactly?
What is
Thank you so
exactly, yes.
much.
You're welcome. Welcome.
Yeah, I've been looking for this answer. Thank you so much.
Sure, most welcome. Just cut to the chase. Love yourself. You are perfect the way you are. There's nothing that needs to be added or subtracted. You are perfect the way you are. Just accept yourself the way you are. And that takes you to love automatically. Great. Kavita ji, kuch कहना चाहेंगे?
Sir, Sonal here. I
Yes,
put
Sonal.
5 names in the chat box.
Names.
Those are the ones.
Yellow Submarine, Let It Be. These are all beautiful. Yeah, no, these are all Beatles movies where the Beatles themselves are in it. But this was a movie which it's his song. Yesterday. It's called Yesterday. The name of the movie is Yesterday. Check it out. It's not a Beatles movie. It's a movie about the Beatles. And it's called Yesterday. So if you get a chance to see it, it's such a beautiful movie. Check it out. Yesterday. There's a song also, Yesterday, by the way, by the Beatles. Yesterday, love was such
All
a
my troubles seem
game
so
to
far.
play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Yes.
Suddenly.
Yes, that one. हाँ कविता जी, आपने सुना कि आप थे या नहीं थे?
No, I love the session and cut to the chase is really the 4-letter word love.
Right.
And
Exactly.
it was very beautiful, and we need hammering and reminders.
Reminders.
Yeah.
करते रहेंगे.
So
That's
this
why we
was a
meet.
good
That's why we
reminder.
meet every Thursday.
Yeah,
We
get back
keep
on track.
get back on
It
track.
was very nice. Yeah.
Yes.
But
So
the title was nice, Cut to the Chase. We
cut to
are
the chase.
chasing our own tail.
Yes.
But I feel, at least for me, I feel meditation is very important.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
and I
But
am turning somewhat from Advait to Dvait
okay.
in the sense that though we are one, like I read Ramakrishna who said, I don't want to become sugar, I want to taste the sugar.
Correct.
हमको लव का टेस्ट करना है, हमको लव एक होके एक वन कॉन्शियसनेस होके मतलब आफ्टर ज्ञान आई एम रीडिंग रामायण और वो बोलते हैं कि ज्ञानी भी अगर मुझे प्रेम ना करे, राम बोलते हैं ज्ञानी भी हो कुछ भी हो तब करो या करो, द मेन थिंग इज लव गॉड, love again love.
Absolutely. Devotion and love.
And
So absolutely. So अद्वैत अधूरा रह जाता है अगर आप ये नहीं समझ जाते हो
प्रेम
कि
नहीं समझते हो,
प्रेम नहीं समझे तो
ड्राई
फिर
नॉलेज रह
it's a
जाता है.
dry knowledge. It's a very
Yes.
boring, dull, dry.
Yes.
Forget
Yeah.
about it. But knowing the oneness and still experiencing the differentness,
Yeah.
that's the game, and that's where all the fun is, where all the colors
Actually,
are.
God has also created us because He wants to be loved. नहीं तो भगवान को कौन पूछेगा,
Right,
है ना?
wants to be loved and to love. It is
Yeah.
the same God also loving and being loved. Is both sides are the same. So let's not forget. So the lover and the loved both are divine. Both are
And
divine.
Neha, my friend here, she's
Yes.
a real devotee of Meher Baba.
Oh, wonderful.
And Meher Baba is all about love, love, love,
All
and
about
love.
love.
कौन सी 4 लाइन की prayer है, वो बताओ.
Acha,
Beautiful
bata.
session. Beautiful
Thank
session.
you.
Thank you so much for this.
Most welcome.
And it's just like what she said. It's like a reminder.
Right.
Keep on, loving yourself, and
Loving
when you love
yourself.
yourself, it's like,
Automatic. So
so
what
it's very beautiful.
thank you.
So
Thank you. Great. Thanks for joining us.
yeah, thank you so much.
What is the 4-line prayer that she
Ah,
mentioned? Huh.
yeah. मेहर बाबा की हिंदी, इंग्लिश, मराठी, गुजराती, ऑस्ट्रेलियन आरती है,
Okay.
और उसके बाद एक छोटी सी प्रेयर है. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more and more and more and still yet more,
Actually,
till we become worthy of union with you, and
wonderful.
help us all to hold fast to Baba's daman till the very end.
Till the very end.
So
Beautiful.
Master will take you to that journey, and again it's a lover and beloved journey.
Correct. Correct.
Master and God, that we as a lover, we are not disciple. We don't call ourselves as disciple,
Disciple. We are lovers.
but the lovers.
Lovers.
So lover and
Beautiful.
beloved. That's
The
the
lover and the
story.
beloved.
Yes.
Radha Krishna. It's all the
Radha
same. All the
Krishna.
same.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful. Very nice. Thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
that.
Thank you so
Great.
much.
We'll close on that beautiful note. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have the 1 minute thing. Okay, let's see.
Can we close the record?
Yeah.